Hey, let's go.
Let's start this way. Raise your hand if your striker scored this weekend. Raise your hand. Let's see your hands if your striker scored this weekend. Okay. Shanti, your striker did not score.
Sesko scored. I don't understand the kind of question they asked.
Just raise your hand. I want to see which people's team their striker scored. Just raise your hand. Thank you. Okay. We know his striker scored. Please also raise your hand if your team won this weekend. Please, let's see if your team won this weekend. Raise your hand.
Jude, what team are you now with?
Brentford. The other side of Manchester. Haaland scored.
So,
and we won.
You already know. Once you see Jude without jersey, you know that United did not win that. Anyways, but everyone, welcome back to ROP Run of Play podcast, where we discuss all things football from the perspective of our teams, Arsenal and Manchester United. United guys are at the bottom today because they've not won a game. They've not won back-to-back games ever under their manager Shamorim, any other rim you want to give him, But anyways, welcome back to the panel. Welcome, Mr. Man, Johnny Boy, my guy, co-Arsenal fan. How are you feeling today, Johnny Boy?
I'm happy. At least we only team that won this weekend. Big Gabby. So I'm Big Gabby today for today. Big Gabby. That's how you have a center back. It's not like the elite and the rest. So I'm happy.
Please welcome back the neutral man, the only neutral guy on the panel, Mr. David. How are you feeling today, David?
I'm good. I'm doing good. It was an almost perfect weekend.
Almost.
I was really hoping Newcastle would pull through for me, but it didn't happen. City ran away with their game after halftime, so those two dented my mood. But thankful for Chelsea, thankful for United, thankful for Liverpool,
thankful for Tottenham.
Tottenham.
Okay, fair enough. And then we have the guys repping Amorim, Mr. Jude. How are you feeling today, Jude?
Back to square one.
Come on, man. Trust your process.
We're in the era of 1 win, 2 losses, and 1 draw. So the next match will be a draw. So we are every month. That's where we are now. So back to square one.
And also have our moderator, the Arsenal hater, Mr. Sheon T, aka Amorim in. I'm sure you saw that your bodies saying they're giving Amorim to the end of the season. To see.
I'm not in now. Where we are in
how do you feel about that news?
Where we are right now, Newcastle has less points than us, right? We're just 2 points behind Man City. So it's 3 points, behind 7th place Man City and 4 points behind 4th place Spurs. It's not too early or it's not too late to still rescue the season. Ineos should do the right thing and sack Amorim. That's where I am right now.
But they're giving it at the end of the season. You have to say what he's going to do with the team they signed. Surely indeed.
There's nothing to see. There's nothing to see. If we're going to see anything, we would have seen it by now. I think Ineos, it looks like they're just trying to postpone the inevitable to make sure that they don't have to pay Amorim and a huge buyout fee. So they're waiting till I think his contract gets to like the 1 year mark in October or so before they sack him.
Yeah.
So they don't have to pay the full money. Well, by that time, we would have lost more points because against Sunderland, I can promise you, is another L that is loading. If Sunderland have complete 11 players,
let's talk about the process. They're going too far to next week now. Let's talk about.
I know, but there's
it's a draw.
There's nothing to say about Brentford, right? This United
your
team.
Style of play, come on. The superstar boys, Sesko scoring. He's gotten that ginger now. That taste for goal scoring. What it
Sesko
means for a
scored
team going forward.
because he's a good player now, right? That's why Arteta was chasing him throughout the transfer window. Sesko is a good player. He can play.
I don't know. I don't know
thing
know which
applies to.
report you were reading. We're testing Gyökeres.
It's okay now. It's okay. How you know?
For two windows, no one.
Abi at least Sesko is playing with regular soccer boots, not Timberland. Like what is the guy's name? Gyökeres.
That's why I scored one finally.
Another weekend with no goal for
Gyökeres has 3 goals.
Leave if Gyökeres no see Leeds newly
He has 3
promoted
goals,
team,
though.
he score.
3 goals in 6
No,
matches.
don't mind them.
That's okay.
How many
strikers
goals
goals
did he
level
score?
when they are talking?
Who did he score against now? Who did Gyökeres score
Got 3
against?
goals.
Is it not
Nottingham
Leeds?
Forest is newly promoted, Abi.
Who did your own guy score?
Nottingham Forest is newly promoted.
And
Right?
scored against Brentford. So as far as
Did
I'm
you
concerned,
win the game?
Sesko, Mbemo, Cunha, these are all good players, but Amorim is liable to destroy them. Just turn them to low quality fake players, because that's what this guy is doing. He's a destroyer, a suffer man. Basically, is what he has come. So I want to take me back to Ten Hag when I was complaining about third place. I want to be a United fan complaining that fourth place is a failure or fifth place is too bad. And that's why we should sack the manager, because now this guy is trying to give us 17th as our destiny, as our confirmed permanent destiny. Please, no. Free us from Amorim. That's where I stand. I think this Brentford game, despite everything that we know about, we've not won 2 games in a row, we needed 3 points, this was supposed to be it. You still went to Brentford, and within the first 20 minutes, 2-0. Like, what are we doing, right? Let's just pack it up. Like, that's just it. Let's pack it up. Let's close it and let's just go home.
So the way you're talking, I want to ask you. I think I may have asked you before, but are you disappointed in the way that Amorim turned out? Because you were super excited when it was about to be signed. You're saying, there's Wahala for the league. Like, are you super disappointed in
what part of what I'm saying does not connote disappointment? I'm very disappointed in Amorim.
No, you might just be disappointed in the game. I'm talking about, like, as a manager.
No, I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in the manager.
Challenging for the league. You don't know what you're hoping for, but by now you'll be challenging for the league now.
Yes, I'm disappointed in the manager because I firmly believe that, like, all this system stuff is just half of what you're supposed to do. The real sense as a manager is up here. Is having the wisdom and the man management and that X factor to know, okay, this is the guy I'm supposed to play today. Away at they are pacey. So even if I did Maguire, Delete, and Luke Shaw against Chelsea to win battle, I should know that against Brentford away, I should tweak it, play somebody pacey in there instead. That's the manager is supposed to have sense, right? Okay, Bruno Fernandes has played 20 games in this deeper number 6 role. He cannot play it. He just can't. He doesn't want to. He can't. Yet, what was supposed to be different in Amorim's mind against Brentford that we've not seen in the previous 35 games from Bruno, the deep in that midfield? What was supposed to happen differently against Brentford? So, like, Amorim, I think, has nobody to blame.
He got a penalty now. He got a penalty. Are you going to blame Amorim for that penalty?
That penalty was supposed to help us.
Who else was going to play the penalty? But who else would have taken the penalty if he doesn't take the penalty?
No, so the Bruno thing is more than just a penalty.
Your striker doesn't have confidence at that point to be taking penalty.
But like it's more than that penalty now, right? The issue is that Bruno Fernandes is one of the best attacking number 10s. But Amorim has decided that because of his system, Bruno needs to play deeper as in number 6, basically. And that's not where you want Bruno on the ball. You don't want Bruno tasked with man marking, closing down, marking any type of thing, or being the person who receives the ball outside of your box 18. No, you want Bruno in the opposing half, right? Just outside of the opponent's box 18. That's where you want Bruno Fernandes. But Amorim insists on playing his system. This guy is a very proud man, Amorim, and I think he has talked himself into a corner where he wants to take the ship down, and we all have to go down with him. No, I don't want to. Like, it's a suicide bomber. Please let me off the plane, basically, right? Let this guy crash and burn by himself. Because that's actually what. Yeah, no. Now let's jump.
Your manager.
No, I don't believe in the guy anymore. I think I have lost faith in him. I think so have the players as well. Because I'm sorry, Mr. Man, the system just does not work. It doesn't work. I don't know how you see things, Jude, but I've reached my own my final
left
breaking point.
So I've left that place since I highlighted since the beginning
And
of the season.
I agree with Shunti. I mean, the primary work of a manager is to manage the resources to one end, that the club is successful, that you win games, that you win matches. System is secondary. Do you understand? How you manage your resources and how you tactically approach games or tactically react, to situations as they occur in the match. That's why you earn your monies. Anybody can come up with a system. If each and every one of us here, I'm sure we've had our experiences with Football Manager. We all had systems that we played, on that game. Anybody can come up with a system, but forcing round pegs into square holes, or the other way around, forcing square pegs into round holes. It doesn't. I don't know. It's just stubbornness, it's pride, it's ego, and you're dragging a club with that enormous fan base down with you. I mean, you can't see scenarios in the game where I need to change this. This is not working. This should be tweaked. Fine, start with your system, but tweak them around even during the game and see that this is not working. Personnel management. What's this individual's best abilities? This position I'm playing, this individual, is it the best use of that ability, in this case? So I think
I mean,
don't even know.
under what circumstance there's no any system that has it such that Patrick Dogu has more time on the ball in attack than Bruno Fernandes. That's F9 basically. That system is 0/10. So like Amorim, I think it's one thing to be gingered against Chelsea, be gingered against Arsenal, and the guy is also kind of delusional, right, Jude? I don't know. Like after the match, that's Amorim about the system. He said, "Oh, when we win, it's not the system. When we lose, it's the system." Mr. Amorim, when do we win? Like, what's he talking about? He has won less than 20% of his games. He has won, and he's saying when we win. Like,
I mean, the game against Chelsea was barely a win because the moment the personnel was balanced, the moment the red card was balanced, it turned. It was like Chelsea was the home team. Sorry for cutting you off, Jude. I don't even see a system working with that team, and it's going to become an explosion soon in that dressing room because the players, I'm sure, are tired. You see Sheshko every week. That guy is frustrated. The game always presents, and like you said, the ball for the wide men who can't seem to find him. The most creative players are too deep, marking other players. How many teams, just do a search, how many teams in the Premier League play with just two central midfielders? You find that most teams have three people centrally. So you're going to go into every game with two individuals chasing three guys. In the Premier League, with all the quality, in the Premier League where an Idrissa Gana Gueye can become classic Claude Makelele one weekend, you don't even know what you're going to be up against, and then you're playing just two guys, and one of them is to be fair to Casemiro past his prime, and you want Bruno doing the defensive duties of what a box-to-box midfielder is supposed to do when you should put him in the creative third. I don't know. Like I agree with you, Shemti. Delusional, stubborn. Will I say pride and ego too? And it's unfair.
No.
They will address the Casemiro part in January. Just have some patience. Have some patience. Ugarte is not good enough. In some games, Ugarte will come in, and then when it gets to January, whatever your position you are in the table, we know you're not going to get relegated. If you're like 16, 17, if you get
I don't know that. I don't know that because the safety net we had. I don't know that we're not going to get relegated. The safety net we had last season was from Ten Hag. If you leave this guy alone, this Amorim, as the way I'm saying, anybody that we play against, any single person, as long as they have 11 players, basically they can beat us because we've seen whether it's mid-table team or Brentford or Fulham or his relegation team or Burnley, no matter who it or Sunderland or if it's championship team Grimsby, no matter who it is, as long as you have 11 men and you come to play, you can beat this Amorim's team because it's easy to expose his system. So like the L's are going to pile up, but it's just
Yes,
there's no way around it.
but now we know it's not going to be sacked. We know it's not going to be sacked. Like I said, there was a report this
Why is it not
evening
going to be sacked?
that says that they're giving Amorim to the end of the season so they can see what actually does with the squad.
That's kiss of
So,
death now. Is that not what they
we know
always
it's
say?
not going to be sacked.
That's
What
suicide,
can he do differently? You know, like the same way you always ask at that time. Now that we know that Kutas not going to win the league, what is he going to do differently? So now that we know that your guy's not going to be sacked, what can he do differently? Because
The issue is he's not going to be sacked.
It's not working very well. What can he do? He's going to be there.
The major issue that I find, the challenge is more of his selection. His player selection is so wrong and so bad.
So who should they drop in who should they drop from
Dogu should not be playing together. Sure, Dogu, Maguire. Sure, and Maguire should not be my center, my main defenders. Especially Sure and Dogu should not be playing at the same time. One of them should just play left back. We will manage. I feel like Shaw should be benched. Dogu, I have low confidence in him. Dogu should be benched. Shaw should be benched at this point. I feel he should play more of. Euro has one game bad and he benched Euro. Where is that point coming from? He should play Euro. We don't have Martinez back. He should play Euro, Delete, and Maguire. Maguire should not be your last man. If he is always going to go and attack, he should not be because there's no point. I don't know what Maguire was calculating in that game that made him feel that the last striker that the striker is supposed to hold, he left the striker to be running ahead to go and get. I don't understand what he was doing. So Maguire should not be your last man. He's always that overconfidence kills him. In the midfield, don't play Bruno.
But you know, if he brings Maguire as a sub, he's coming on as your striker.
No, I didn't say Maguire shouldn't start. I said at this point we don't have Martinez. Maguire should start. Maguire should play one of the hand of the distance, but he shouldn't be my last man. It should either fall to Delete or Euro. Then in the midfield we should have what's his name? Kobimeno or Ugarte. One of those three, like two of those three should be playing. Bruno should not.
But you don't like Ugarte now, Jude. You don't like Ugarte.
I'm okay with him being there. He's still a workaholic defensively. Casemiro does not have the pace and energy to do it. Meno does not have the pace to come back. That's where the problem is.
So Ugarte has the pace.
Ugarte has that energy to still work. He doesn't forget himself. If you tell him to sit down and do the work in the midfield, he can do it. The coach is playing these people out of positions that when one person goes out of position, the other person forgets that person is out of position. And they are just like a bunch of confused human beings playing what I don't know. So there's no point playing Bruno in that deep midfield. Bruno has more better shots, goals, and creation than any of the people in that 10. There's no point playing Bruno behind. You can play Bruno at where Cunha is playing, take Cunha to the left, and they can come back and help the left defensive side at any point in time. They have the pace. Cunha has the pace to run back. They'll have to work how to do it. But three of them, Bruno, Cunha, or this. There's also Zexi there. We had cohesion. We were balancing a bit with this formation last season with Zexi being there to help calm the ball and connect with the striker. Last season, all of a sudden, Zexi is on the bench. We have people who are individualistic to the team. These people are just new to the team. They don't understand what this pattern is. They can't blend in. You see, you give Mbeumo the ball. Mbeumo is already going to the wing. Our 10 is not supposed to go to the wing.
Nobody understands the pattern. The second goal that they scored yesterday, where it was, if you see it was Delete versus two Brentford players. And as soon as the ball came in the air, I don't know what Dalot was thinking. I don't know if you've seen the clip. Dalot he just runs across basically like this and leaves Delete to be 2-on-1. Right, and I think in his mind he's trying to follow instructions. So okay, invert. You're supposed to invert as the right back, right? When the ball comes, run to the middle. That's how you leave Delete 2-on-1.
He does not have football listening. Just forget Dalot. Dalot is just anything you tell him he'll be doing. Dalot that will reach forward to shoot or cross. Dalot will be thinking, should I use left or should I use right? By then the defender, everybody has fall back just by split seconds. So forget Dalot. Dalot is not my favorite to be even playing in my United distance.
Right. So if your prayer is answered, of where Ruben is sacked, Like, there was a manager available right now, Graham Potter. Would you take Graham Potter or you take
It's not Potter now. If we're getting anybody now, it's Xavi. That Potter stuff is a dirty lie. Like because there's no way it can be
Why
Graham
would you
Potter.
guys
I don't think
Graham
Ineos are
Potter
that
to marry?
crazy.
Please let them keep Amorim.
It's,
There's no
He's going
point.
to play a back four now. It's not going to play a back three
No, we
all
don't
the
need
time.
him. We don't need him.
Potter or Southgate or all those kind of guys, the
We
fan
don't
base
need them.
will just explode.
It won't work.
It's gonna be Xavi. That will be the best thing. And the thing about the whole Xavi stuff
What
is
about Moreno?
again,
Moreno, I know he has a job
no,
now. but-
Mourinho is
Mourinho
taking
has
now. He's enjoying his life in
He'll
Benfica.
probably not come.
He's enjoying life in Benfica right now. See, the thing is that like we don't need. There's still time to salvage this season. Newcastle are not looking good. Tottenham lost to Wolves. That's looking shocking. Aston Villa is having a terrible season. Chelsea is unable to get any kind of form. It's Liverpool and Arsenal and City that look like they can put some wins together. Right, top four right now includes Crystal Palace. So there's still a lot of football to play. A lot of time to get some points. Right. Even if we've already played Arsenal, we've already played Chelsea, we've already played Man City, right? You mean Liverpool for us to play. So like there's time for a good manager who isn't trying to win the league. I don't need to win league. I just need to not be losing so much because I can tell you this Amorim guy is gonna be L's upon L's upon L's, and I've had enough. I'm tired. I can't take it anymore. Basically, this Amorim is just telling us that no matter whether it's Eyimba or Kano pillars, as long as you have 11 players on the pitch, you're going to beat this Amorim Man United, and I can't deal this too much. But I mean, Dr. Toves, you show up whenever Arsenal wins, and when Arsenal loses, we don't see you. So I'm sure you're excited.
You've only lost one game this season.
And I see it's a coincidence. It must be a coincidence. So we'll take it like that. And I'm sure you guys are feeling very excited. Big Gabriel came through in literally the last kick of the game. As far as I saw one stat about how over the last few years, every season has passed, your XG has reduced, right? Your XG has gone down by some basis points. Although to be fair, while the XG is going down, Arsenal fans might argue that they are feeling more and more confident of the likelihood of winning a trophy. So you're scoring less goals, but the team is obviously more solid. Has Arteta restored your faith in?
But that's
XG
expected goals now. It's not goals itself now.
Yeah, no, expected goals, but I think it's a measure of attacking, just overall attacking quality and intent, right? So using that as a metric for that. How are you feeling about today's game, Lakatos? You guys won, tough away fixture, 2-1, now 2 points behind Liverpool. Is this it from here on out? Riding the wave.
Thing is, when Arsenal wins, they troll. When Arsenal loses, they troll. I don't even know which your question is authentic or you're just trying to start your agenda. But I'm going to say this. Last week when there was a draw against Manchester City, I remember everybody saying, "Oh, Arsenal are losing the league. They don't have the balls. Blah blah blah." Against Newcastle, they've not beaten Newcastle in a long time. They're not going to win. Arteta only plays defensive. He only uses set pieces. All of those things, and now we've won. They're now saying, "Oh, are you going to win the league now?" You guys have counted us out, anyways. Why are you concerned whether we're going to win the league?
Yeah, the one counting yourself out now.
We are just handling.
You're arguing imaginary haters, first of all.
We are just handling our business. It's not. You're not going to be top of the league. I'm not battling Man United. We're not worried too much about Tottenham. We're not worried too much about Chelsea. We're only talking to like Man City and the Liverpools. Those are the people we are talking to. So for now, any other people that are hating, they don't know what it's like. As I told Jude last week or 2 weeks ago, you guys don't know what it's like to be on this side of the table in recent years. So all the trolling, I understand it, but at the same time, you should respect the big boys.
Why are you arguing with imaginary haters now? We ask you a simple question. Now that you are now 2 points behind, you are 2 points behind Liverpool now, right? As you're alluding to,
I've said that we're winning the league already now.
Yeah, winning the league. Okay. I mean, Johnny Boy, is this the sign that you were looking for?
We said I said that we're going to win the league too as well. So it's a good step in the right direction. Newcastle is one of Arsenal's boogie team, and we went there. The manager it seems he's beginning to change a little bit. He showed some promise last weekend against Man City with his subs, and he did something similar today as well. And the difference is that last week we got a draw, this week we got a win. So I'm hoping that it's going to make him change his ways a little bit. Hopefully, he's going to open up a little bit and say that this is actually the way forward. But Newcastle's game, irrespective of the fact that the referees were trying to hand the game to Newcastle, Big Gabby had other plans.
Tell me about Big Gabby, Johnny Boy. So 90 plus 6, right, is when he scored last minute. From your perspective, do you see that as the sign of a Premier League winning team always able to score no matter the time of the game, or maybe a yellow flag that is worthy of concern, right? Because a different day, a different weather, that game ends 1-1. And you continue the trend because you weren't able to settle the game basically in regular time, right? And Gabriel came through at the end. How do you feel about that last minute winner? A sign that you can always score, or maybe a yellow flag to be concerned about that you couldn't score in regular time?
It's a good sign in direction. That means it's a never die spirit. And I'm very happy because the players knew that this game is important because Newcastle, like I said, is our boogie team. So that relentless let's go. And Gabby scored. And maybe this can be the kickstart for our season. We have some good fixtures after today. So hopefully we collect our 3 points down the road. The coach should not mess up our starting lineup, and we should be able to win our games. Arsenal is going for the title.
The Premier League,
we're going to win the title.
The Premier League is welcome. The Premier League is welcome for Arsenal always keeping the title race going. Otherwise, Liverpool will just run away with the league, or Man City. Sometimes it's nice to just break things off. Everybody's saying, "Oh, Liverpool have lost, Man City have won, United again, Chelsea lost." Everyone was hoping. They were hoping for Arsenal to lose. David said his weekend was not complete. But we come out disappointing the haters. We're making the lovers happy. It's a good weekend overall. Great weekend of football. 2 points off the leaders. It's not easy. It's not easy to do. United, you guys were doing it back in the day, but it's not easy to do nowadays. So I'm really happy. Title race is officially on between us and Liverpool and Manchester City.
Let's make the distinction, Shah, that a couple of points of clarification. That back in the day, what Man United were doing was not professional title chasing. We were winning trophies, right? So we're not congratulating ourselves for chasing the title.
You did not know at the time that you were going to win.
Wait, now
you were just in the title race. At that point in time,
too much.
You didn't know. You were just hoping.
Wait, now, so that's number one. Number two. Any title race that Arsenal is in right now, so is Crystal Palace and so is Spurs. So David, what do you make of the mark that these Arsenal fans are making?
Please. Let's let the table do the talking, not your emotions. Okay. Let the table do
it's a point. If Arsenal is in the title race after 6 games and 12 points, if you're in the title race after 6 games and 12 points, so is Crystal Palace.
But I'm sorry. Last weekend.
Okay.
So is Spurs who has 11 points.
Why is United not in this conversation?
Because we are.
What are you calling Crystal Palace and Spurs and Sunderland?
Sorry, last weekend I remember somebody was saying Man U wins this weekend.
Yes. No. I said it will be bad. It will be bad if Man U beat Brentford and if Arsenal lose to Newcastle. But that didn't happen. Now we lost to Brentford and you guys won. So now you're 2 points behind. Yeah. So I'm saying by any metric, if you are in title race with 13 points, somebody that is in 12 points has to also be in title race now, right? Because you play the amount of games.
Yeah,
so it's just
you're 6 points behind. Man, still title
no, now 6 points and 1 point is not the same thing now, right? To be in the title race, you have to be within a margin of error, in my opinion. No. Title race means margin of error 3 points from the top. So everybody that is 3 points from the top is in title race.
Liverpool, home and away.
Are you guys in title race or not? I'm saying you're a title race now. I don't know why. I don't know why we're arguing. David,
I am.
please,
I am. I'm staying with United.
from
United,
your
I
own
think title
perspective, do you share the certainty that these Arsenal fans have? Right. Gabriel scored in last minute. Arteta is kind of like has reached peak cynicism, where I think from his perspective, all he cares about is 3 points. If they like, they should play around football. Anything that anybody like, they should see. As long as they win 3 points, that's all that matters. So do you think they're going to be able to see this through? Or are you with, the likes of Gary Neville and Roy Keane and all these pundits that say
and Chelsea.
Arsenal? No, we're being this thing now. All the pundits who say that like Arteta needs that kind of like he needs to be able to go away at City and win before they can call themselves real title contenders. Or is this enough? The points that they're accumulating now.
So I mean, I can answer that question in several different ways, but let me take it from the XG discussion that you had. You see, the thing with expected goals is usually for the top teams, you expect that your expected goals is growing to show your attacking intent, or relatively in the top three of every league. But then again, you understand the journey of Arteta and Arsenal. This team came from the point where everybody felt they could pick points off Arsenal, and then slowly transitioned them into one of the big boys, in the Premier League. That would then mean that the approach that teams will have to Arsenal's game will be much more defensive, right? People would start to sit back. Naturally, that would affect the XG. Yeah, that's on one side. On the other side, Arteta too is very, very pragmatic. Arteta too is very, very pragmatic, and he has taken some lessons over the years. And I think the lesson he took is if I don't expose myself too much, right, I can be defensively solid. And that's one of the reasons why you have their goalkeeper. I think Raya has won back-to-back seasons now, the Golden Glove, right? Yeah. So
say it again. Those are the most attacking goalkeeper.
So those are the two things I feel is responsible for, the lower XG. But on the other side of that, you're seeing lower XG, but you're seeing more average points, for Arsenal. And then that's what I then want to feed into the question you've asked. I think for him, right, and to be honest, for any Arsenal fan, it will be down to collecting as much points as possible and just getting the trophies, getting over that line. You see, a winning mentality and a course, I'm using that in quotes now, a trophy drought or a winning course, absence of wins, absence of trophies will be broken anyhow. It doesn't necessarily have to be the most fanciful, play. It doesn't necessarily have to be, you have to have the statement win of winning this person or winning that person. It's get as many wins as possible, get as many points as possible. I mean, if you also look at it properly, take all the big teams in England. How many of those big teams really within the past 3 to 4 years has Arsenal not picked like maximum points against once or twice before? So these
are the arguments that I make to Arsenal fans when I'm defending Arteta and telling them that they have it really good, and that even if he doesn't win a trophy this year, they should still keep him as a manager, because I don't know where they would get a better manager than that. But that's cool on us now. Staying with you, David. Let's segue to another supposed to be title contenders this season, Chelsea. At the end of last season, during the Club World Cup, it looked like Chelsea were going to be, untouchable, unbeatable, basically unplayable. How does a team go from destroying PSG the way they did, right, and sending the kind of signal that they did? How did they go from that to not being able to beat Lincoln, losing to Man United, which on its own is an insult, right, and then coming to lose again to Brighton 3-1? Just starting with you, David, and we'll go across the board. How does Chelsea go from one to another?
So if you could recall, we had this conversation I think match week 2 or match week 3, and I said, Chelsea's game is patient build up from the back, but when it gets to the attacking third, there's a philosophy with Maresca, and I just let you guys do your thing, and that usually works well until teams figure it out. And I can remember presenting a scenario of his time at Leicester and then his first season at Chelsea, seeing how it usually works for a while and then at some point teams catch up. So I can, in that same vein, pin down the Club World Cup win to the new signings, that joined the team. You see, all season they had struggled with finding that number 9, finding that top striker, and then during the period of the Club World Cup, they became an unpredictable team because they had 2 out of the blue, 2 strikers out of the blue, to add to that. And that new energy, I believe, was what carried them through. If you look at the PSG game, Chelsea came with a counter plan for PSG's press. PSG basically throws you to the wolves by pressing you. Chelsea just came with long balls and then decided you're not going to be able to press us. That's fine and it's all good against PSG. It's when you then have to play against Lincoln City that there's a problem. It's when you then have to play against Brighton that there's a problem, because then you have to go back to your original philosophy, play through the back to the midfield, and then get to the attack and lean on vibes. So the challenge is those vibes are not coming through. Fair to them, though.
Coming through.
There's some personnel missing, for Chelsea. I looked at the back line against Brighton at the beginning of the game and I was like, what's going on? Then I found out, there are some injuries, here and there. But that's no excuse for them not to still get the win over Brighton at home. It's not an excuse for them not to get that. But then when you, and that's why I started this answer for the way I started it. When you think about a team that depends on vibes or the intellect of a certain group of players, when those individuals are missing, they run into trouble. When those individuals are not playing, they run into trouble. I can also pin down their back-to-back losses to managerial flaws. We've talked about Amorim and we've talked about people being stubborn. I don't think this individual is about stubbornness or hanging on to a philosophy. I think this individual's problem is poor reaction. He has a poor in-game reaction. That's Enzo Maresca. He is not able to read what exactly is going on and what does my team need right now. I mean, Johnny Boy and Dr. Toes were crediting Arteta for making the right calls, in today's game that panned off for them. I think Chelsea fans need to be asking for Enzo Maresca's weekly pay back, because he has not earned that within the past 2 weeks. With the calls he makes during the game, I don't think
it kind of sounds a bit like quicksand to me, that once a manager gets into that position where your subs are starting to be questioned and everything, I think it's only a downward spiral from there. I mean, Johnny Boy, do you share the David's assessments that it's just chicken coming home to roost for Chelsea, basically? So the team quality, and I'm paraphrasing what David said, but basically that the team quality was kind of like, carrying them through last season and through the Club World Cup. Now Maresca is getting found out basically because of the flaw in his setup. What do you make of Chelsea's situation now?
I question Chelsea owners, and I think every Chelsea fan is actually missing Abramovich at this moment, because I started saying when their transfer window ended, and I looked at the bought Gittins, they bought João Pedro, they bought Delap, they bought Garnacho, and they bought Buonanotte from Brighton. I'm like, bro, out of all these guys, it's only João Pedro I look at and say, okay, he's like an upgrade for that team that can help the team. And I'm like, this is a team that spent close to over $1 billion in like 2 years or 3 years. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. Are you trying to win the league, or you're just okay, make it top 4? So what's the aim of the owners? They will tell you they're trying to win, but the signings you're making tells me otherwise. So when I started that, I was like, you know what? I don't think Chelsea is going to win the league, but that doesn't mean that they should not compete to win the league, because any Chelsea fan that is telling you that they're not competing to win, that's a lie. You're supposed to compete to win the league, because you can't spend that amount of money without going for the league. Then now back to Maresca. Maresca is, I think David just summed it up. Even his time in Leicester, he started off well with Leicester, and then Leicester went a period of, I think, almost 3 months or so. They couldn't buy a win. What actually made them win the league that year was because of their early start of the season. That's why starting well is also helpful, because that's what helped Leicester start to win the championship that year. And we saw the same thing last season against for Chelsea last season. They started well, got to, like, I think, Christmas period, and there was a huge dip for like almost a month or two. They couldn't win. And then towards the end of the season now, they picked up a little bit and were able to scrape and get to top 4. And then, like David said, the Club World Cup, I think the new signings helped them as well. And also maybe a little bit of operability. Some people might say they've met some easy things, but I don't want to give them that excuse, because you're going to play whatever is in front of you. So, I mean, Chelsea didn't go and pick Flamengo or pick Fluminense or whoever they met, right? Those guys actually picked somebody and got to the position, and then Chelsea beat them. So I don't want to give that an excuse. They deserve to win the Club World Cup. But that also maybe might have given them a false hope. Maybe they thought they were better than they were. So now I think Maresca is beginning, I don't know, this truth about Kopama or Boss is looking likely, because most of the times Kopama doesn't play well or doesn't play, Chelsea struggle. And that's the case. And then I didn't watch the game yesterday, but it seems Maresca made the same error he made last weekend, which was when they went to a man down, instead of leaving some attackers that can help carry the ball forward, he rather did what? Took out his attackers and brought in defenders. And what that does is that you're inviting pressure to yourself. That's exactly what you do when you do such stuff. You invite pressure to yourself. For Chelsea, the loss. I still expect them to be in the title race. They might not, they're definitely not going to win it, but, and I don't know, they might actually end up sacking Maresca, because I don't think Chelsea are scared of sacking managers. I think that's one thing. I think they will sack Maresca if he doesn't do so well. They will sack him.
I mean, he probably still has some time to right the ship. Dr. Thomas, feel free to touch on Chelsea if you want, but I want to just shift gears to your London neighbours, Tottenham, who had a surprising loss to Wolves as well. Right? I think Thomas Frank started the season with a bang, and it was supposed to be second coming of Pep Guardiola, best manager ever lived. Now he lost, I think, back-to-back games, and surprisingly losing to Wolves that is supposed to be relegation.
Was a draw.
Further. What do you make of Spurs so far? Yeah, was it?
They drew
to Wolves or they lost?
Last minute goal.
Yeah, a lot of last minute goals. This Premier League weekend. Well, first of all, Chelsea, I don't care what anyone says, they have to be in the title race. They must be in the title race. So anything that Maresca wants to do, you should do it. Now, coming back to Tottenham, the thing is, at the end of the day, a lot of these managers, they are still not a lot. Like, Thomas Frank is new to Tottenham, right? They're still getting used to his system and the way he wants to play. So there are different points during the season where he might not communicate well, his message well, across well. But also, Wolves, this is match week 6. They're just getting their first point in the Premier League, and I think they played very, very well as well. So they saw the weaknesses in Thomas Frank's game and they capitalized. So for me, I would say more of credits to Wolves than for Spurs. But Spurs, new manager syndrome, they still need time to adapt to the man's strategies and things like that. That's what I have to say about
Tottenham. Okay, we didn't see any word on Chelsea or Spurs.
You're mute,
Jude.
For Chelsea, for me, it's vibes and inshallah. They are not yet there, because the major problem that they have is more of I know they needed a striker or somebody that scores from the wing or something, but they had a defensive gap to fill, and they never filled that gap. coming into the league. So that is going to take a serious toll on them, considering they're in almost all the competitions. So their best bet is to start leaving the competitions early so that they can focus on the league and climb up. Uh, I just feel Thomas Frank is probably just trying to balance down. They'll still end up high. I probably would put them higher than Chelsea, but they'll still end up high, but
Who
not as high.
Tottenham?
Yeah, but
No,
not as
I
high
don't
as
see Tottenham higher than Chelsea, but
except if they
continue.
sack if Chelsea goes to the market in January. I don't think that Chelsea is going to do that far. That's all. But I think Tottenham will probably get one more signing in the January window, and they can do good. Uh, but not as high as Arsenal. That definitely is. But right now, I'm still with Dr. Toves that Chelsea is in that they must be in that title race. They must answer their name.
They have to be now. I mean, they have to
To
be.
be
There's no excuse.
There's no excuse. So whatever that the outcome is happens at the end of May, they should wait for us. We are coming. We're already in May waiting for them. So they should arrive early so that we can finish them. So I just feel it's at that point where the league is getting interesting now. The weaker teams are trying to, okay, let's go, believe, snatch, get the point, try and score early and hold the game till as long as possible. That's what probably you'll be seeing around this time because everybody wants to get up. And those managers are also going to be on pressure to be sacked, right? So they also have to deliver something, even if it's 1 point against a big team. It's like 3 points for them. So that's what I
Mm,
feel. So it's going to be a tough
okay.
time
I
considering
mean,
Chelsea's fixtures in the next few games, right?
Yeah.
Is also a tough time, a tough fixture that they're about to enter in this October. So we'll see where they are at the end of October and then see what they have to do with their injury list, right? They have a long
yeah.
injury list too. So it's going to
Are
take
Chelsea
Staying with you,
playing
Jude.
Arsenal
Oh,
next, or
no
am I
Liverpool.
wrong?
No, they're playing Liverpool next. Liverpool.
Then
yes.
Arsenal.
Staying with you, Jude. I want to segue to the last this thing. Liverpool.
I'm sorry,
Their
well, let me
jazz
just put,
finally
I want
finished.
something about Tottenham, right? About Frank. I think he's going to find out that Tottenham as a decision is bigger than him. Like he might want to try to do something good, but like Tottenham as a club, there's just
Mm.
something about them that doesn't sit right because they remember they've had Conte. Conte struggled there. I know he got them to Champions League, but he
Yeah,
was a
no.
kind of a
The whole
flop in a
point of
way.
somebody like
That's
Frank is he's supposed to break that
That balance.
cycle now, right? That's what they brought him for.
yeah, what I'm
Then
saying, he
when I
might be
stay with
trying to.
you,
I don't think
Liverpool's Jazz finished yesterday, and they ended up apparently that game could have been 6-0 for Crystal Palace because Crystal Palace
Yeah.
missed a few
First half,
chances.
especially first half, yes.
So is this a glitch or truly as the Jazz finished and now Liverpool are about to be exposed?
uh it looks like a glitch. Uh I think it's just probably that one glitch because I don't see any team who's going to play. It's Chelsea. Chelsea is their next game. I don't know if Ekitike is out for long. I think he should be back, right?
No, he's
Or
back. He's back. He's just one
back,
game.
right?
Yeah.
So I think he was that missing part. He was that missing part in their attack that yesterday because they couldn't like get in through the striker. The wings were the kudos to Crystal Palace. They up their game is expected. They are going to play that counter-attacking football, defend to your life, and then go up and play the football, ball them, use Mateta to hold up play and build up and then get up. So I think that part of when you get to the attack and then that missing person that you're used to is not there. Also killed Liverpool. So I believe that it's just a glitch. Maybe before it will happen again, it might be
Mm.
a long way down. They'll probably get back. They just have to figure out how to make Isaac work. That's their main issue. Because I think Salah is probably in that prime where he's like, I've won everything, and even if I don't contribute, I'm receiving my salary. I'm fine. So we'll still end up in Champions League. So they need to find other people, those other guys to get in and deliver and reduce the reliance on Salah, because people are starting to mark him out on that wing. So, but it's also up there.
Like, David, before we ask the Arsenal guys, what do you make of Liverpool's situation now?
Yeah, so I know we had this discussion. I mean, there was a time it became a topic. These guys are just getting last minute wins, back to back in all competitions. What's going to happen to them? Are they going to go ahead and use this infinite glitch to win the league? And then we called it a glitch then. And then now we're then looking at this and we're thinking, is this a one-off? I know my response on that episode was it would depend on how Liverpool respond, and that would show us their character. If they're going to be defending champions to actually defend the league, or they're going to fall off. So I would say the decision on whether this is a glitch would be determined by the Liverpool team, how they respond to this. And to be honest, I'm tipping towards a negative response, which would derail their title defense. In my own opinion, that's what I think. I think they're going to go on a bounce where they're not able to win for about 2 games. Maybe they draw those 2 games, maybe they lose those 2 games. That's 2 extra games apart from this Crystal Palace one. And they would then start having the histogram kind of season, up and down and up and down. Not so bad that they will be out of the top 4, but maybe that might kick them out of the title. But how we see them respond in the next 2 games will then determine if those guys are retaining the title. I think it's something that they've been riding on, that last minute, scoring. It's now worked against them. Another team has pipped them in the very last minute. I mean, you play Liverpool within the past 4-5 games and you're already scared that in the 80th minute another team will wake up and come and play against you. But someone has broken that voodoo, and I think that's we're done with that now. If Liverpool doesn't wake up and get their game wrapped up in under 70 minutes, I think they're about to see something else coming. That's my own, and that's just a prediction. It's not like I have any statistics that I'm using to run this by.
That's your vibes, right? I mean, it sounds like music to an Arsenal fans. Yeah. So I mean, Dr. Tove, tell us, is this the moment you've been waiting for? Liverpool's job has finished, so now you guys are just going to overtake them and run away with the league.
I don't know anything about that, but all I know is just the same conversation that David was saying. We've had it on this podcast before. And I said as well that all it takes is for one Premier League manager to figure Liverpool out, and then there'll be a snowball effect. And Glasner has unlocked Liverpool to everyone. Like it's been coming. They've been conceding goals. The only game they did not concede a goal was against Arsenal, right? For every other match, they've been conceding goals. So it only takes one Premier League manager to figure out, okay, let's see how we can cage these guys. Let's see how we can hold them as long as possible, and so that when they're huffing and puffing in the end, it doesn't result in anything. And Crystal Palace did. As a matter of fact, Liverpool thought they scored their late goal. Isn't it? They scored around the 87th minute. They would have thought, okay, we have this game now. We're not going to lose this game. And then Glasgow came back with this counter-attacking magic, and Nketiah, former Arsenal boys, Arsenal, let me do one for the team. And he made it happen. And that's how we are back. Again, in this title race, 2 points. I'm happy because if Liverpool had won, people will be like, oh, they're running away with the league again, blah, blah, blah. But right now, let's let everyone be humble that anyone can beat anyone in the team. It doesn't in the Premier League. It doesn't matter. All of the superstars
best in title chasing.
Anything can happen. That's the
chase. The chase.
It's about to end this season, by the way, because we're going to win it. So it's about to end.
Okay. Now, I mean, so well, from your perspective, Johnny Boy, where is it coming from? This Liverpool miss, right? Because yes, they need to figure out how to make Ekitike and Isak work. But this Crystal Palace, Liverpool are not going to do unbeaten. Nobody has done unbeaten since the Invincibles, right? So they were bound to lose. and chances that it was going to be a freaky game like this to a bogey team like Crystal Palace. So I mean, some could counsel, don't read too much into this. Liverpool are gonna bounce back. There's so much quality in the team. But are you seeing it as this is your Arsenal's opportunity to go from chaser to catcher? I mean, what's the...
This is just match week 6, so this question is sounding as if we're like we had only 5 games to go.
No, you're already planning trophy.
You said it's only you and Liverpool that are in the title race. So that's why
now.
No, we said Man City. He mentioned Man City.
He said he's only in Liverpool.
Man City. I mentioned Man City.
But you're both Man
We're
City.
just responding to your.
I also included Man U too. I included Man U too. Man U in title race. I said Man U.
The mind Johnny boy. The winers now.
Mine is just 6 points behind now. 6 points.
Do you mean the bottom title?
And there's 36 games to go. 32 games.
Anyway, how does it fall apart for Liverpool? If Arsenal does catch up in your mind, how does that play out? Liverpool dropping points.
So I'm happy because finally, everything everybody was saying that what Liverpool was doing is not sustainable. That's finally caught up to them. Just winning by last minute goals and all those stuff. And nearly at the point yesterday's game, I actually thought, oh my God, here we go again. Liverpool have stolen this game because when they equalized that goal, to be honest with you, I felt that the only one who was going to go on and win that game, which was Liverpool. But then luck, God being God, football gods went back in favor of Crystal Palace because if you watch the first half of that game, it's Crystal Palace by these minimum of 4 goals ahead because they missed a lot of chances first half. Like they took the game to. I don't think Liverpool expected the way Crystal Palace came at them. I don't think any team has come. I know Bournemouth tried that. And then I think only Newcastle, the only team I've seen that did that to Liverpool, whereby for a sustained period of time, they kept on pounding Liverpool and pounding Liverpool. Liverpool couldn't come out. And that's what Palace did in the first half. Unfortunately for them, they were only 1 goal ahead, which I didn't like. And then Liverpool equalized. And I think one thing I noticed yesterday, it just shows that Isaac is going to, I don't know, probably is what do you call it, fatigue or what do you call it, he has not had preseason. So it's showing. He was so rusty yesterday that you can literally tell he couldn't control the ball well. He didn't link up play with his fellow attackers. So I think I could see why Slot was so mad at Ekitike for getting that suspension against Southampton in the cup. Because I think if Ekitike was fit, he probably would have started this game instead of Isaac. So I think Liverpool now, I think everybody now, I think Chelsea now, if I'm Chelsea, I've seen the blueprint to Liverpool. Liverpool is not scary. Their defense is not all that. Kirkers is new in the team. You have Klobuchar sometimes playing right back. Even Bradley is not that fantastic at right back. So Liverpool's team is there to be got at. That's why I was mad at Arteta for not going at Liverpool. Because if you go at Liverpool, we have seen it this season that if you go at Liverpool, you actually score. So now I hope going forward now, I think Liverpool's their next string of fixtures is kind of difficult. I think after Chelsea, I think they have United if I'm not wrong. So
is United you're counting as difficult?
Like I said,
they use us hope.
No. But I'm not hoping on you.
This is more worried about red card, though. Containing red card. They're more worried about that.
But one thing I can get from United, United is going to give their best against big teams. So that's what I'm hoping for. So I think Liverpool now, they're back to down to earth, and I think now the title race is open. I trust.
We didn't say
I'm sure they're going to sleep. Yeah, by the way. So Liverpool's bubble has burst, and I'm hoping it's the beginning of many. Because Arsenal is going to win the league yet again. I repeat that.
That one's safe. Then I don't
We'll
know if you
remind
want to do.
It's on record. 58.
I don't know if we want to do predictions, or do it via text in the group chats because there's still one more game left.
You tell us your thoughts on Liverpool.
Please let me
tell us your thoughts. Let's hear your thoughts.
Me on Liverpool.
Let's hear your thoughts on the Liverpool.
I think the season is still pretty early. I think for me personally, I always felt like the jury was out on Slot. I think Slot was lucky to ride the coattails of Klopp. So, I wouldn't be surprised if I see them kind of falter. But I think player-wise, there's a lot of quality in that Liverpool team. Just there's too much quality, and they have a lot of experience. So I think they should be able to see it through. But on the hour mark, that's what I was asking if we wanted to do predictions or if we can wrap up.
I just have some bold predictions. The international break is coming soon,
Woo.
and depending on Amorim's and Maresca's results, they might be the next two casualties. Those are my bold predictions.
Wow.
Okay.
Somebody here
Okay.
will be happy. You're making somebody smile. Don't say that. Somebody here will be
It's most
smiling.
likely-
I just,
No,
you know,
it would be a mistake if we wait
red.
till international
red.
window. There's
No,
6 points on the
international is-
table right now.
oh
No, there's 6 points on the table right now against.
Two games before the international.
2 games.
No,
I thought it was just one.
next
Yes.
It's just one.
Yeah,
No,
just
it's
one.
2 now. It's
Yeah.
Sunderland and Liverpool now before transfer window.
Are you sure?
Let me see.
Yes.
International window
No,
is
it's just
six,
next
so
week. It's just
Nine-
next
nine-
week. It's just next week.
Nigeria's first match
it's
is
just
6th
next
of
week.
October.
Okay, right. Okay, so it's Sunderland.
next week.
So I'm saying,
Liverpool is the game.
okay, yeah, it's true.
It's the game we'll lose after international window. That's how it happens.
You already said lose. You already said
We
lose.
lost after international window, so we always have one game that will welcome us.
The only
back.
hope we have versus Liverpool is for new manager bounce to help us, because if it's this Amorim that carries us, basically it's another 0/10. So
See,
this game against Sunderland, there's 3 points at stake.
Bruno and who you want to play against Liverpool's midfield.
But yeah,
No, but this guy should be back by then. Martinez should be back now.
But leave Martinez.
And Arsenal will knock again.
But yeah,
Yeah, so that's what
we'll
I
continue
think.
to be
I
on the
think there will
lookout
be-
for Arsenal and Liverpool and Man City. Like, share, subscribe. Hopefully Amorim is sacked by the next time we're
Hopefully
here
Amorim
gathering to
gets
talk
it
about
right, and then we can start
about football
That's
again.
fine.
Or he gets it right, sure. It's more likely that he gets sacked than he gets it right. But if he gets it right, all
I think
good.
he's going to get it right.
How?
I don't think so. I don't
Because
think
I remember
know
last week.
one
Weekend, somebody
one
was,
of them is going
somebody
to international break.
somebody said me start. Somebody said me start. last week, I remember,
unless it's
about-
right, quote unquote, is an infection that is to catch. You can't get it.
Somebody sent me stats last week. The mine were top of the XG this thing. Most shots.
Okay, who ends this show? Can we wrap up? Cut.
The score.
Nah, Jude.
The problem is not the SG. The score.
Jude, cut.
I said that last week, but they were arguing against me.
Thank you
Thank
very
you,
much,
guys.
everyone. We'll catch you guys
Thank you,
next
guys.
week.
Please.
I'm